Hey guys, today we are going to take a look around Kraken Kingdom. That I've This is a park I started actually in Alpha 1. I'm going to leave it alone for right now until Alpha 3 comes out because there's a lot of spots I want to actually add water in. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we get the fairy tale theme because there's a lot of that stuff from what they've shown as far as the windows and some of the doors and the decorations that I can use and put them in this park. So probably not actually going to build anything today on this episode, but more or less just give you a little walk around and show you some of the different parts. And yeah, we'll take it from there. We'll talk about that, and we will talk about Roller Coaster Tycoon World.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Oh, yeah. That's basically what we've got going on here is, like I said, this is Kraken Kingdom with the Kraken Castle. Bunch of different areas, kind of spread this park out a little bit. I don't have any entrance yet or any turnstiles or anything, but all that'll come. Probably later on once more stuff's released, but this is basically the main area. When you first walk in, you can go either one of three ways. Split the path is split with the big galleon here. You can make your way off to the hotel, and really the first main ride as far as coasters go. Once you make your way back through here, around some of these flat rides is a coaster. Actually, I just changed around maybe 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to try to make this an RMC coaster. I don't have a name for it yet. A lot of this actually changed around. All of this right here was actually down behind all this. But when I made it an RMC, I went ahead and raised it because all of this was reconfigured to what the old coaster looked like. So a lot of work left to do on that, like cover the station. Whoa, big traffic jam here. The park, it's about, you can see, right at 2,000 people. Probably need to, this is a city skyline type problem. I need to widen this path. Really, the lag isn't that bad right now. Even the park the size it is, this is probably the second biggest park I have. First biggest is probably being the water park, and I'll do an episode on that and show you all and do a walkthrough. But they claim when the final game comes out that this map area, you can see the little outline, this is actually going to be small compared to what the new maps are going to look like. And even so, with the size they are now, you can see I've built quite a lot, and I still have plenty of room to expand on this park. So if the finished maps are going to be bigger than what we have now, those are going to be pretty huge. Yeah, going through here, this is kind of leading up to the castle. You've got this shopping district with the restaurants, eateries, bathrooms. Kind of weaves its way up through there to another flat ride. Over here we've got the kind of like another little mermaid gift shop. And yeah, that's kind of the layout of the park as it sets right now. This is the mine train ride that I started working on from Alpha 1. You can see now that this is it's actually kind of cool because it's almost like a throwback to Alpha 1, to where when we couldn't make the tunnels and the cave systems, we had to do it piece by piece with these rocks. So actually, I'm probably going to leave that like that because, like I said, it looks pretty all right compared to kind of what we would do nowadays. Is you would just raise a big mound and kind of just let the coaster kind of carve its way through the hill that you just raised. But back then, when this first came out, we had to manipulate the hills and with the drops and stuff with these individually placed rocks. So probably leave that like that. And yeah, let's go ahead here in a minute, and we will I'll show you some night shots and let you see what all the different lighting and looks like. And yeah, give me a second here and we'll fast forward this and switch over to nighttime. Alright guys, and here's what everything looks like at night. Definitely, I mean, I know a lot of people like to see the parks and stuff during the day, but for really, with me, this game really shines at night. Like, this lighting is absolutely insane how good this looks. And like I said, it just, these parks, they just really just come to life when the sun goes down. So I definitely think a lot of my projects are going to be filmed at night, just because, like I said, you just can't beat the way this looks. And look how the moon kind of shines off the tracks in this wood, and then of course the Kraken castle with the turned lights and there and all that lighting up there. The resort hotel, it looks awesome lit up. And yeah, this is it's coming along good. I actually don't have any concrete plans for this park. When I do expand it, I'm assuming I will probably come out this way here, because it's kind of cool to have the Kraken Castle as the kind of the main backdrop, or the main sight point. You know, from where when you're standing, pretty much all over the park you can see it, especially that highest tower. So I don't really want to build, you know, a bunch of stuff back there behind it. So just probably that'll be the back end of the park as you make your way to the castle. But I'm pleased with it. Like I said, this is all from Alpha 1. Really the only thing that has been touched is, like I said, I reconfigured this roller coaster to try to make an RMC out of it, but everything else is original Alpha 1. So here's a little movie theater I started. I don't know if it'll stay like this. We'll kind of just have to see how the rest of the park fills out back here, and see if it's not too big of an eyesore. Because see, when you kind of scroll out and you're looking around the park, the way it faces, it's kind of just stands out big time noticeable over here. So I don't know, we'll just have to see. And then of course got the little concert stage here. But yeah, this is the park at night, and we will get back to this. Maybe do some. I'll put a couple episodes up once I actually start expanding on the park when Alpha 3 comes out. As long as it doesn't, you know, lag too bad. I'm actually using OBS right now. Fraps wouldn't even let me film any of this because you know it goes so slow. But OBS, no problem at all. So I think I might, even though I paid $40 for Fraps, I think this OBS has kind of made me a believer in it, and I don't know if I'll be going back, because this is definitely, it lets me move. We'll just have to see how the video comes out. But as far as recording, it is recording right now. It's not stopping my mouse. Like you can see how fast I'm going. No way Fraps would let me do that while it was recording. It would probably crash the whole game. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed about this OBS system, and see if it holds up. But yeah, that's really all I needed to show you guys this time around. Yeah, speaking of, you know, of this game in general, it kind of made me feel bad about, I've basically abandoned RCT 3 since this come out, and a lot of people ask me on Twitter and Instagram, you know, why don't we ever see any more parks or pictures from Roller Coaster Tycoon 3? And it's kind of like, I think once more of you guys, if you haven't actually played this yet, when you do play it, you will understand kind of why some of us have just totally left, you know, RCT3. I know, you know, people say it's not dead. They're still, you know, well, yeah, it's not dead, but it's almost like when I do go and start Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 up, it is like I have went from PlayStation 4 back to the PS1. You can't, like, really, Planet Coaster has spoiled us. You can't get the looks right. You can't position stuff the way you want to, you know, like as far as being limited to the diagonal pieces. Whereas, obviously, you know, in this game, you can, you know, basically bend these walls and pieces any way you want. And yeah, it's kind of just, it's almost a letdown starting up Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. I'm just not really motivated to get in there and play that much anymore. So I might have one water park I haven't finished yet in that. You know, you might see. I might give it a chance and fire it back up and see if I can finish that. But for the most part, I am, well, you see, I've totally rebranded the channel to Planet Coaster. So that's pretty much what the whole focus is going to be now. So it's in a bad way, you know. Yeah, I had to leave Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 behind, but look what we have here, and this is only Alpha 2. So imagine what we're going to look back on years from now. And, you know, I think I told Silverette and a couple of them guys, it's bad. We'll look back at this and think, my God, look how crappy we used to be at this game. Even though this looks totally awesome now, you know, just imagine, just give us a couple years to practice and use these tools and get all the themes together. And it's going to be really incredible, I think. And that brings us back. I know at the beginning of the video I talked about mentioning Roller Coaster Tycoon World. And, you know, there goes Gulpy. With that game, I know I've been really critical of it. You know, I called it a dumpster fire. We're pretty critical of it on a Facebook page. If you don't follow, you should go follow it because you get instant feedback. You know, people are on there all the time. It's the forums are good. You know, I love Shy Guys World, the Creators Lounge, Planet Coaster Forum, but a lot of times, you know, you can post stuff on there, and maybe in 3 or 4 days, you may get 2 or 3 comments. With the Planet Coaster RCT3 Show Your Work page on Facebook, I mean, it's almost instant. Somebody's on there looking around, liking your pictures, commenting, asking questions. It's, for me, it's just, I like using it because it's so, you get such instant feedback. Whereas the forums, if you get any feedback at all, normally it's a span of, you know, you've got to wait days and days and days to before people start commenting and you know, giving you feedback and telling you what they think of your designs and parks. So definitely check that out. I'll link that in the description below. Planet Coaster RCT3 Show Your Work. Put in a request to join them, and one of the admins will get you added, and you can start posting and showing us what you're doing in the game. But back to RCTW. Basically, you know, I know I slammed it a lot, but it's kind of, I do kind of feel bad because it's really not. Yeah, the game looks like it's just not been given enough time, but really, when you compare it with Planet Coaster, what's ruined them is Planet Coaster. If we didn't have this game, we wouldn't really have much to compare it with. I mean, you know, it's kind of like with the developers of Planet Coaster and the guys at Vizio never doing a theme park game before. This is like an NFL team playing a high school team. It's really hard to compare. These guys just are such on a higher level, and Planet Coasters, their higher level of thinking when it comes into this, it just really shows in the game. And you never know, Frontier might have more resources they can put towards this. Atari's trying to put it out as quick as they can and turn a profit on the roller coaster name. So really our anger should be probably more towards Atari than the guys actually making RCTW, because I'm sure they're trying their best, but I mean, my God, this come out. Imagine what the feeling was like, or what the feeling is like in their development studio every time one of these videos comes out, or the dev spotlights. It must be pretty disheartening to see what the Frontier guys are doing and what's happening with Roller Coaster Tycoon World. So, I mean, yeah, I just don't ever really see myself playing it unless something drastically changes as far as graphics go. And, you know, I've read articles and heard that it was actually the CEO of Atari that put the slam on what the beta looked like. Because if you all remember, the beta looked 1,000 times better than what the early, quote-unquote, early access looks like now. And I had heard that the CEO went in and told them to dumb that game down. He wanted it to be playable on a more broader array of machines. And so they really went in there and tacked it up. It looks terrible compared to this. And yeah, they just they have fallen way behind, and it's a race I don't think they can ever win now. I mean, it's it's kind of sad to see the franchise has went that way, but I mean, you know, we all consider this the spiritual successor to Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. So, yeah, we'll just have to see. Who knows? Maybe one of these years they'll get their stuff together. And give us a a good alternative, or maybe some kind of different coaster design, or people might end up favoring that a little more than what Planet Coaster ends up finishing with. I mean, there'll always be a little niche for it, but as far as I go, I'm just gonna stick with Planet Coaster, because obviously it's the better game. I mean, yeah, I spent $75 on it, but I spent $50 on Roller Coaster Tycoon World, so look at that game and look at this, and you're seriously going to tell me you wouldn't spend the extra $25 to get this over that? And what really pissed a lot of people off is, here just a couple weeks ago, people like me that paid the $50, RCTW went on Steam for sale. People were getting it like 20-30% off on Steam, so that's kind of a slap in the face. The people that supported it from the very beginning, and then people that have never even played it all of a sudden get on Steam and get it for like $30-35. That just the whole thing just stinks. It's just it just seems like a whole rushed project. Obviously the Planet Coaster pressure doesn't help those guys, but it is what it is. They're I know I couldn't design a game as good as they are, so when we're sitting here bashing these guys, I'm sure a lot of them are probably thinking, have you ever designed a game before? So no, I haven't, and I'm sure a lot of you guys haven't, so I'm sure they're trying their best, but sometimes your best just doesn't cut it. But anyways, I guess that's all for this episode, and if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and next I will go in and we will do a walkthrough of the water park. If you guys haven't seen that, you can check out some of the videos on the channel, but we will go in like this and do a real-time view of how the water park looks as of today, and yeah, that's where we'll go from there. And thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next video.